minutes early. Let's commence the festivities. Call to order.
Moment of silence. Flag salute. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, this is my final duty as president. One thing left, and that is to nominate a new president. So I need a motion to nominate a new president.
Mr. President, point of order. And you probably have an argument, but
Yes, I do. Do you remember we did bylaws, Reverend? Do you recall we did that?
yes, but
And what's the first bylaw?
the Commonwealth Borough Code has supersedes.
No, it doesn't. We are not superseding. We are in addition to. We have to reorganize once every 2 years, and we will do that. But we are appointing a president according to our bylaws every year.
But
And that the bylaws say that. Let's just continue. Anybody else have any problems? There's nothing. We can't resolve it. I can't
you're
move
prejudicing my fact that you have to be accepted. Your resignation.
I do not.
have to
I
be,
am not resigning. The bylaws require
But you're resigning
me to
that
step
office.
down.
That
No,
office.
I am not resigning from that office.
You're still going to be president.
No, I'm required to step down by the bylaws. Everybody here understands that, Reverend, but you, it gets a little bit irritating, quite frankly.
Well, you can
I'm
be irritated because
Anybody else have any issues with it? Nobody does. Shall we continue? I need a motion. Take it up with the next president. I need a motion.
I motion we elect Barbara Trent for the president.
Need a second. Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
How many of us is
No.
vote? No? Is that, did you get all that?
I got it.
Congratulations. I'd like to say something. You're the first woman president of the borough. Congratulations. And I thank you for taking the time. I'm glad to hand this to somebody else. Beats the United States.
You didn't even hit that one time. Come on.
I never did I? I wanted to throw that out. Probably. Throw it, yeah.
She's gonna get a longer handle.
Yeah. Just reach out over there.
I don't have an agenda for tonight. I figured we'd just kind of wing it tonight, but then I'll...
Is there anything?
No, there wasn't really anything I had other than appointing her and the minutes in the budget. I really didn't have anything, so...
Oh, all right.
Did everybody get a chance to look over the minutes from the previous meeting?
Mine, I couldn't pull mine up on my phone.
Madam President, I had sent to the secretary some corrections.
Okay.
Yeah, I did get your email. I just didn't apply them yet, but I do have it.
And I do serve that objection. And Madam President, the vote was not against you, but against the order. Pursuant to Title 2014-37, which is an amended Title 8.
I would not make those amendments that he wants to change because that isn't what happened. You see what he has bold?
Right.
My corrections are the bold in this one.
But the minutes are what happened in the meeting, not what your wishes for things to happen in the meeting.
That's my observation. Pursuant to Title 8 amended, which is 2014-37, which is the most current Commonwealth of Pennsylvania statute.
But that doesn't change what happened in the meeting. So therefore, we can't do the corrections that you requested because that didn't happen in the meeting.
That's correct.
Those were not presented. So do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
Which ones? Angels?
Yes.
I want to make one correction to angels. At the very end, it says page 3,
Okay.
it says Reverend Spade made a motion to consider the previous, the 3,500. And down there it says the motion remains active at this time.
You want that rephrased?
I wanted to say the motion died.
Okay.
Nothing happened with the motion,
Okay.
so a motion is dead if nobody acted on it.
Okay.
Question, Mr. President, Ms. President. I'm sorry, I apologize.
You're fine.
Is this the fireman's that he's correcting?
It's the motion you made.
The fireman's motion is still active.
Nothing happened to it. How can it be active?
It's
You made a
still,
motion, nobody
it's
seconded
still
it,
active.
nobody.
On this.
Oh, well, that my motion, but the motion for the fireman to be paid is still active.
And that has been resolved. You know that. Everybody didn't get all those emails, so just to update you. The fire, I talked to the fire company's attorney, and I sent them, you saw that email, it was something that we operated in the red. He agreed to talk to them, and I think we're going to back off on that issue. That would be his recommendation. It's based on
Our attorney or their attorney?
their attorney, Kim Hauser, good guy.
Okay.
Well, it'd be nice if we could read that letter. I know, but
He said he would give it to you. It was an email. There were 2 emails
I didn't.
between me and him, and he said he would pass them both on to the fire company and recommend.
I have the one where you sent back, but I never happened to know what he actually said to you.
He
The
sent me an email.
Yeah.
That's all. You guys would probably get that. And basically, the conversation that I had with him, he said he would talk to his client and try to ask them to not go after the money for 2018 because we ran a deficit in both in 2017 and 18, and we're legally not allowed to run a deficit. So there will be consequences to us, and I don't know what those consequences will be yet. So basically, he understood. We simply do not have the money. So that's where that is now, and I don't know what the attorney said to the firemen. I have no idea. It's their attorney.
Can we table this issue
Yes, we can table this issue.
until later in this meeting?
Later
I
in
have-
this meeting,
Yes, I have a report.
you have that much of a report tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. This is my appeal to the open records, and I have a lot of evidence to present to this council.
We don't want that evidence. This is your stuff, not
Mr.
ours. Are you doing this
Mr.
on our
President,
behalf or
Mr.
on...
President,
Hold on.
thank you, Mr. President.
Jerry, I'm sorry, Councilman Spade. I'm gonna let you present,
Thank you,
Right.
Mr. President.
and, however, we're not gonna be here for 3-4 hours.
I'm not going to be
If
3-4
If you're
hours.
productive, I'll let you go.
Well, there's one more thing. The Borough Council does not have an appeal against the fire company. This is through the right to know law. We are not doing that. He is a councilor, but he is acting independently. Is that correct?
Madam President,
Yes,
I'd like to table this until, and I will answer any questions at that time, but I'd like to present something as a counselor doing research. And I was served with evidence that I think that this council should see. And then I'm going to have a recommendation at the end of that.
all right. Table it for now. There is still a motion on the floor
For the minutes,
for the minutes.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes as amended.
And I second it.
Question, how was that amended?
At the very end
At
on
the end
page
here where it
3.
says the motion remains active at this time, and that's pertaining to the $3,500. We just want the motion, what'd you call it?
It's dead
It's
because
not
nobody
active. That was-
did anything to it. So
That
the
was
motion
There was
dies.
never a second or anything to the motion.
So it's just dead.
Okay.
That's it.
And that $3,500 is incorrect, that's $3,750.
Okay. I'll add that too. That's not a problem.
So what do we go ahead, vote is what we need.
I thought that with the 3,500, it was because it came down recently, or did it go
No.
up recently?
No. It was $7,500 and half of 75 is $3,750.
Yeah, he would be right.
He's right.
It was
That's
just a typo.
Okay.
It's
All
okay.
right, all right.
So with the two changes,
Yes.
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
Well,
He made
the
you
motion,
second.
you're seconding it. All in favor?
Aye.
Signify by aye. Motion's passed. Let's go over the finance report.
What page you want to start on first?
Is there an agenda? Do we have an agenda?
No, that's all we have.
Let's do the expenditures.
Okay.
Now, as you all understood, if you were here at the workshop, our computer crashed. And so Angel has done the best that she can and has worked a lot of long hours to try and put this finance report together. Because we lost, what was it, part of October, November, and all of December.
Yes.
So, and even though she had it backed up on the zip drive was in the computer at the time that this happened, and she lost it all, even what was on the zip drive.
May I add something? We
Sure.
had a devil of a time
Yeah, we
today. We
did.
had at least, 4 corrections?
Yeah, we did.
So I don't know,
I'm pretty comfortable that it's accurate now, but I'm not saying it's down to the penny, just based on as many corrections as we had to do and trying to rebuild an entire month worth of finances with nothing but your,
the December amount would be correct, would it not?
Yes.
It's the year-to-date totals that
Yes.
That
concern
will
me.
be,
and I did try to auto sum the year to date, and do column by column, month by month, and this is the numbers that the computer kept giving me.
I came up with a deficit when I did it, so I'm not sure.
well, yeah, we only had $105,600 budgeted, and we spent $128,000.
Well,
So that is like, that's a $23,000 difference.
How do we mess up all this?
So it's in what we expected.
We
to.
did bring in more than we expected.
okay,
Okay, but that's only by $5,000, so you're still looking at an $18,000 deficit.
and, okay, here's what's missing. There's something missing here, paving. I don't see that. Is that on here?
It is on here. I put it in to street maintenance and repair because I have to put it into a category.
Yeah,
So-
36,000.
Oh, I see it. I got it.
Yeah,
I got
so
it.
it went into
I got it.
street maintenance and
Okay.
repair.
All right.
So your street maintenance and repair is over budget, like over the
That's why the
budget.
128 at the bottom doesn't look right to me.
That's probably where we bought it at.
Yes, I was just concerned. I thought the 128 was more than that. That's what you get.
That's what I get, that's what the computer's telling me.
Okay.
Really?
Paving's on the,
You
street
have-
maintenance repair, right?
Yes, I got it.
We
I
have
didn't
to
see it.
figure 9,000 of that paving we received from the county too.
Yeah.
So we got it, but as soon as we got it, we got rid of it. It didn't. It's like not like we had it sitting here and then took it. It was almost like a pass through, that part of that.
Well, it should be on the income side.
Yeah,
It-
and in county aid. And it says 3, which would be, actually be 9, so you can add 6 to your county aid.
Well, I guess we could approve the December expenditures. I don't know about the rest of it at this time, which is what we have to do. We have to approve the expenditures.
Anybody else have a problem with the finance report? Any questions?
What are we doing, the revenue or the expenditure?
While we were working on the
Expenditures is what we
expenditures.
have.
Man, we missed out on a lot from what we budgeted and
Yeah, so we're, in December, we spent $13,200. That's the one.
$3,039. We budgeted 9,000 and the streetlights were over
Over
12
12.
grand.
Yes,
Right.
And of course,
Yeah.
so
we
that's
also-
another $3,000 that we're not.
we have an extra, and of course, you have $5,100 would be for the auditing fee. for
Yeah,
the-
which
for
we,
that.
that's another,
Yeah.
what, about $1,100.
You know, 'cause
And that's.
Which we had to get a decent audit because last year's
Right.
audit was horrible.
Okay, there's a mistake right there. I knew something was wrong.
It's not in year to date.
It's not on the year-to-date, so I know these, okay, so these bottom numbers are wrong. Right off the bat, they're off by $5,000 in the year-to-date column. So I'm pretty sure that I'm right here, that we operated in the red for 2018. But anyway, Barbie, what we need to do is approve the December expenditures. And the rest, we're just gonna have to wait till she transfers everything to QuickBooks and figures it out.
I have a motion to approve the expenditure.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All in favor, motion passed. Yeah, well, hopefully, we'll be able to do something about the electric with, the lights that we had, said we were gonna shut off, and the other ones that weren't under contract that we can change to the LEDs, and hopefully we'll be able to come out a little bit better at the end of next year than being in the hole.
Email got sent out to everybody.
About the lights?
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
I hung on to that.
I don't know if everybody gets that stuff.
I got it.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. What do we know about the lights? I got that email that you had gotten a contract from Penelec where they had said
Yes.
about what was in the contract.
Angela
Has that
Calvin,
arrived yet?
these guys can probably tell you more than I can right now. Angel, do you?
Yeah, they
speak to
had
that?
they had sent out some paperwork that we had to fill out, just, confirming that what all we wanted done. So we did do that and we sent it back. And we did get an email in response. From what I gather from her email, they just need to shut them off now. And it's all, it's all going through, it's all taken care of. It's just a matter now of them actually coming in.
Okay, now what about the other one, the ones that are not under contract, that will be under contract and reduced down from 12? Any word on that?
No word on that one yet.
But that's sent in as
Yes.
well, that work? Okay.
Okay,
It's all basically on their end now, and we're just waiting.
Was there a contract signed for that yet, or is that still pending?
That's still pending.
Okay.
So you haven't received anything yet?
No, just the email that, she had gotten all the paperwork she needed,
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
and that she'd be in touch. So,
Okay.
which that came through this morning, so.
How about management report? Anything for management? No?
There was supposed to be a recall on the truck. I checked on it today, and there's really nothing for recall. We have the letter, it's good for 2028. They told me, don't do it if it doesn't need done. When it needs done, have it done, because they'll only pay to do it once.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with the way it's acting, so we'll let it alone, because once you have it done, you're gonna pay anytime you have to have it done again, if it would do the same thing.
So what was the recall?
For freezing door handles.
Okay.
That's what it was.
All right.
Our door handle store.
Alright.
Believe it or not. That's what it is. But there's a 10-year time frame on it to have it
Okay.
taken care of, so.
Alright.
Right at this time, there may be froze shut tomorrow morning, but, if both sides freeze the same, I think it's a little different story from an ice build.
That is my cell phone, I forgot to put it.
That is an animal.
Birds, yeah.
It
Springtime.
Yeah.
That, and I contacted Rebecca Haller about the dirt and gravel road program. I haven't heard back from her. Probably maybe get a hold of me tomorrow. I'll see. She was out of the office. That would have to do with the new piping that we go under 4th Street between Chestnut and Spruce Street. Trying to find out, kind of just putting something out there to see if we're on that list for grants, that ours possibly would be one that would be approved. So that's what we're kind of hoping for that.
Okay.
Just looking ahead of time a little bit to see how we're standing with it. And that was pretty much all I had on my end for that part.
Okay. Kelvin and Walt, do you have anything that you wanna?
No,
Yes.
no, staying busy.
Okay.
You can come about the pump, right?
No.
What about the
One
pump?
solid.
Yeah.
Sticking again.
No, I put a new, well, not a new one of the ones downstairs
motor.
did work. So,
The ones down there, what's it sticking all the time?
yeah,
or-
it's not
Circulating
working. It's
pump
not
for the
circulating
furnace.
pump for the furnace.
Oh, on the circulating pumps.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of one, some pump
Yes,
sticking
some
in.
pump. I thought we bought
Circulating
these.
pump for the furnace. We
Okay.
came, what was it, Friday, Thursday or
Just
Friday,
a circulating
and
pump
it
for
wasn't
the
working.
furnace.
So
Is
we
it
ran
one of the
for
little, is it one of
It's in
these,
the little ones.
that little one on the return or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So we, fortunately, one of the big ones downstairs worked, so I just flipped the ends over, me and Walt made the ends fit our ends, and, but
Well,
we'll
that ought to really pull back a lot harder though.
it's warm in here.
Yeah?
Okay, we'll need to get one rebuilt. If you're gonna get one, you had mentioned about somebody getting one rebuilt. And just, we were busy today.
Is it, is the pump part,
The pump shot,
the
the
pump-
motor,
oh, the motor?
the motor shot.
Well, wonder if
And
that,
this is on the circulator for the,
So I would just like, since we had that extra, that we come in early in the morning,
yeah,
I'd like to
That-
have one rebuilt so that we have it down there, so if that
one
happens again.
small one don't even, it didn't even look that old either, really.
No, let it quit.
Okay,
We
that's
tested it.
fine, we can have it looked at. That guy over there, he may be able to look at something like that, see what, I don't know what he'll do is price a new one. And see what a new one is, and see what the, the rebuild is, and go from there. See what-
Finding out was the only reason you didn't get a call on Thursday, because we were able to get that running without spending the money. I know that.
Well, that's a plus. But I knew we had like there was two extra pumps down
One of the casings cracked on.
there.
okay, let's,
All right, sounds good. We got, that's something, I'll get it and I'll check on it next time I'm over that way and see if they can do anything with it.
okay. Guests, do you have anything that you would like to?
I'm just looking at this and I'm wondering how we managed to go over $25,000, over budget $25,000. I'm not understanding this. I see the numbers and I'm just, I guess I'm,
Well,
Yeah, we are
Wondering the
too.
same thing.
you're not 25, you miss, I don't know how we only budgeted 105,000. That doesn't mean that because you didn't meet that number,
Coalport
doesn't
Borough
mean you're
has
over
a
budget.
budget of $100,000, and I'm reading this that was given to me just a moment ago, and year-to-date is telling me it's $128,023.60.
Okay, here's what you're missing there. We have can I answer that? Is this
Sure.
all right?
Sure.
Our budget, not counting liquid fuels, is 100, so it's another 26,000. So every cent that rolls into this place is approximately $126,000. So what you're trying to do is run a budget on a household income, run a borough on a household income, basically. But the way you tell if you're running the red, if you're over or under budget, is you compare your expenditures to your receipts. Now, these numbers, I question the accuracy of these numbers. It says that we had $135,000 in total receipts year to date. And it says here that we spent $128,000, but we already decided $5,000 is missing from that number right there.
Should we add it on to it?
Yeah, so you would add 5,000 onto your expenditures.
What was that,
So that's still
$5,000?
20,000.
133,
So what you
123,
did,
60.
now, according to these numbers, and I'm not gonna swear to the accuracy of these numbers because we had all kind of problems. But year to date, it would appear that we spent 133,000 and we brought in 135,000. So if those numbers are right, we were in the black. Now, I'm not sure those numbers are right. I'm not willing to stand by that. If we've got issues.
Due to the computer crash,
Yes.
we're
and-
not 100% sure.
Can I ask, 2 years ago, were we on budget? And
Yes,
were
well,
we-
2 years, they couldn't keep track of anything 2 years ago, is the problem. They were total of $12,000 in the red last year, 7,000.
Well, this year it looks like we're 20,000 in the red.
No, it doesn't
Adding
look
on
like
five.
that. But
Compare-
you have to
compare
do
your
wrong
two
numbers, is what
Okay,
you're looking
I
at.
see.
You gotta look at revenue on the one
Yeah, right,
side,
and I was looking at
revenue
budget.
coming in and expenditures on the other side, and you take the difference of those two. If revenue is greater than the expenditures, you're in the black. If it's vice versa, you're in the red.
So
That's what you look at.
I have one other question. And how much are we giving our fire department?
The only thing we'll give to the fire department, because we're operating in the red, we will pay their unemployment compensation, which will cost us about $3,000, and we will give them a pass-through from the state, which will be $2,000. So we'll give them a total of $5,000 this year. Now, in the past, we gave them $7,500 more than that. But when you're this close, when you're operating like last year, when you were in the hole, in the red, it's irresponsible to give away money that you don't have. Plus, we're not allowed. There'll be consequences because we were in the red last year. I don't know what those, I've never run a borough before.
I understand. I spoke to you a few months ago over a road that was paved that ended up costing however much was ridiculous for one road.
Well, that's the price that it costs. Now, the
I-
state, yes.
$38,000.
I understand.
Yes.
I understand that, but couldn't we have tarred and chipped the road? Because I've been up and down the road. I haven't lived here very long, but I've been up and down that road. The road wasn't that bad.
Whoa, that's
It-
wrong.
It wasn't that bad. I had been up and down the road. Not to need,
I guess that's a decision that Borough Council has to make. We chose to pave that
What
road,
we
and we
did,
will
the
try to
reason
show.
why we chose to pave that particular road was, yes, where the railroad came across, it was that bad. I live right here next door to the
I didn't
borough.
travel it every day.
Continue
so-
up
And
a
I
little
drove
higher
it
and tell
every
me it's
day,
not that
several
bad,
times
yeah.
a day. Plus, it is the road in Coalport, we're not responsible for Main Street, PennDOT is. It was the road in Coalport, due to the nursery school and residents, that was most used than any other road.
You should just go straight on up above
See, I
it.
just
It's
didn't
concave.
understand the logistics of the road, and for that one road, I had been up
Well,
and down
it
several
didn't
times, and for
use
me,
an
I didn't use it
actual
every day,
commission.
but it didn't seem to be as
Well,
bad
it
as
was
some
one
of
of
the
the-
other roads in
It
Coalport.
was probably one of the worst in Coalport. Just continue on beyond it a little bit, and you'll see what the road was like. It's concave like this, so you can't plow it, because the plow can't get down in there. And once you lose that, if you don't do something to it pretty soon, you're gonna have a dirt road.
Well, isn't that kind of what's gonna happen with the fire department? If we don't do something with the fire department,
No,
we're
the
gonna
fire
lose them?
department's probably not as bad a condition as you might think.
It may
What
not
do you
be, I'm
guys
not
have,
sure.
about $200,000 in savings? Which we don't. See, we've
We
given
do
it,
not.
well, according to when I looked at your Form 990, which you only provided us with one page out of a 29-page document.
You were offered other
Can we
pages and you
take-
refused
Yeah, he's
them.
gonna
You
bring
refused
that
to
up.
look at them.
We're
Just like you're refusing them to give that
We're gonna
correspondence from
get
our
I
the
lawyer
fire
to all
company
council members.
in a minute.
We didn't refuse.
I didn't mean to
How come they
set up
don't
for,
have them?
We will get to the fire,
I didn't mean to set up for an argument. I was
No,
just
you're
curious
fine.
where we were
That's
at from the last time that I was in here. We were talking about there was something on social media, which I'm not understanding also, because I'm not seeing any updates on social media. That's how I'm able to know that the meetings are taking place, what's going on in the meetings. I'm not seeing anything. I mean, I'm not getting any notifications of any kind. Can I
We don't put
leave,
it on Facebook.
can I leave an email or something where somebody can email me the agenda
Or
how-
all these are filmed and they're on YouTube. Just put into Bing or any of your search engines. Place in there Coalport Borough Council meeting,
That's,
and
Reverend,
then you'll
with all
see
due
the whole
respect,
meeting.
that's after the fact. That's after the fact. I mean,
Oh,
I would like
yeah.
to know
our
when
meetings are the
something is-
first Monday of the month at 7 p.m. unless it's
You're
a
welcome.
holiday, and then it's the second Monday of the month.
I understand that. What I'm saying is, we don't know what's on the agenda. We only know, I mean, if, as a community, you guys, it seems to me like you want the community to come together and do something together, but the community doesn't know. We don't know where we're at. I had no idea what was going on with the fire department from the last meeting that I attended. So I had to ask, and it sparked some outrage, I guess.
I apologize. I started a website that you could see agendas and all that and minutes, and I haven't kept up with it, so I apologize. Madam President,
Yes, sir.
bringing up the fact of the meetings, I was approached and they want to know why our secretary does not send a copy of the meeting to the progress. It seems as though the other localities do this and it's printed. I I realize we haven't had representatives here for a year, and
That was brought to my attention too.
it was brought to my attention, is it possible that the secretary should send something to the progress so it's printed so that the people who did the progress know what happened in the meeting?
Not that I don't have a problem with that, Jack, because I don't. But she's on a limited amount of hours. So she's gotta prepare something for the progress.
No, it's just more or less, I really think what Jack's saying is, she has it on email anyway. If you get the address, and as long as we don't have to pay for it, she just sends it to the progress. Am I
Sometimes
correct?
you can call them and actually give them the highlight.
They have somebody new to this area, because they came when they
I
had
think we
the
can resolve that
parade,
really easy with her.
where
Click the
Park
button.
at, but I didn't get to talk to the lady.
Maybe-
to
maybe
see
more
if
than 2
she's
people would
covering
show
the
up
whole
for a
area
meeting.
or just spot,
They
you know,
occasionally.
spotty.
You know, why don't we call the progress and see if they can,
We can
I
I
call,
say
see if
we
they
If
want
it's
to
not,
have somebody
go
over
Progress
ahead.
there.
first and see if they
Yeah.
can possibly have somebody that's available for the first Monday.
Well,
The month
they're
if
not
they
sending, from what I understand, they're not sending nobody to any of the meetings.
Oh, they want them all electronically
Yeah,
or?
Electronically, that's the way
Okay.
some of the people
Got
that come
it.
to me about it too, that
I
the
don't
other
see a
places,
problem with them.
we're sending them an email,
Okay.
just a copy of the minutes. And that's what, and then the progress printed out accordingly.
That work?
Yeah, that's gonna keep people informed.
We need a motion
Well,
on it.
that's the thing,
I
I
don't
think,
think
you know,
we
we
need
don't know what's coming up.
No, it's
To
not
know
like
if
it's any
we even
major decision.
Need
that-
to be here, we don't know what's going on. We know there's a meeting at the first.
Well, we usually don't know the agenda till,
We don't have an agenda thing.
No,
usually
it
we
was-
don't get.
We
the-
only had a couple things to cover tonight, so, you know, we weren't wasting paper by writing out an agenda.
Well, it
And we were
wasn't
just
that,
gonna-
it was, you know, I've talked to a couple of people and they've said the same thing, you know, well, we don't know, there's no media outlet that's, you know, you've got YouTube, well, who
Right.
YouTubes?
Well, maybe you ought to call the Progress, the local paper. I mean, they did have somebody who was.
Do we
came
have
for
a
years.
local?
No.
Well, it comes out of
Progress
Coalport,
is,
it's called the
it's a
Progress.
program.
I mean, they used to send a representative here every month, but he had moved on to another, he had moved somewhere and they quit sending somebody.
They cut back on their employees, and that was one of the ones that cut back on.
But they still have the Coalport off.
Is there anything else that you need? Okay,
I was just curious.
all right. Members of the fire company?
Okay, I have the 2018 fire calls for the Borough Council to look at with man hours, average
Thanks.
response, average personnel responding. Here, go ahead. Now, that does not include the QRS calls. Unfortunately, those are on paper. The fire calls are on computer. So we're still working up the QRS calls. The last time I talked, they were up to 80. And total calls for this year was 17 in the borough. And doing 1,963.7 meters. And the average personnel responding are 13. Also during the month of December, the fire department was with the community parade that is put on by the fire department, the VFW, and the Moose that contribute monetarily to the treats for the kids. That was all done as a community effort. Now, to talk to you about what Councilman Zupich says, he was talking about the pass-through money. Pass-through money is through the foreign fire insurance, which what that is people that live out of state that have residences or property in the state get a foreign fire insurance sheet, and that is passed on through the state, through the borough. Borough does not budget any money for it. The state gives them the money to pass it on. So they are absolutely doing nothing to that. It's not costing them a dime. Okay. Now, the other thing he said, he was talking about, he had misspoke about the unemployment. What it is it's for the workers' comp insurance. If we would get hurt during a fire or something. And it's a Pennsylvania law that needs to be provided. So to clear that misconception up there. The other one is, yes, Councilman Zupich did receive correspondence from our attorney concerning the 2018 fire contract, which refuses to be honored because of his view that it is fraudulent. That is his words. He can call me a fraud all he wants. It is not fraudulent, and we can prove that point if he wants us to. But we would rather take the high road and meet with you, like we had talked about at the previous meeting that we have yet to heard from you about meeting with Borough Council to discuss the issue. And we were supposed to meet sometime after the holidays. We have heard no correspondence. The other thing is, since you've terminated the contract, I need in writing from Borough Council that our fire department is covered under your workers' comp. That I have a letter stating from you that my members are covered under insurance or under the workers' comp in case they do get hurt doing the community support.
That's part of budget.
Well, I don't see a problem with, you having that kind of letter. I'm okay with
Make
it.
a motion that we send a letter.
We
And
have to sign it
also,
all.
we did table this. I tabled the issue and said that we'd have a meeting, and I respectfully place in that motion that we meet with the fire company. And I may table this so that you can look at the evidence, or I'll bring it up tonight so that you can see. But my motion is that we meet with the fire company in good faith.
It's a motion on the floor. Let's do one motion at a time, okay? You first made a motion to send the fire company a letter to ensure them, that their members are covered in the event of an, injury or while they're out. And do I have a second to that? All Zupich seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Now, you also have a motion on the floor to
Yes.
meet with the fire company in good faith. I would suggest one of our workshop sessions, if that's okay with fire company and the rest of Borough Council.
Which would be a Wednesday night,
Yeah.
if that's good for.
We'll have to pick a time on Wednesday just to make sure. Yeah, we have regular meetings on Wednesdays, but that's usually the fourth Wednesday of the month.
Okay.
If they want to get, send me some dates, we can get the Joe or Jack there to give us some dates and we can meet a time.
Okay.
Question?
Yes, sir.
Oh, the question is the motion.
Okay. Sorry. So, Reverend Spade made a motion to meet with the fire company. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carried.
Now, the next thing I have is we were talking about the first half of the contract, which it is on tape, that motion was carried to pay that when what you wanted was submitted. Our lawyer had told you we submitted everything according to, and we still have not received the payment. So, I want to know. That motion is on the floor, and nothing has been done about it, and it has been passed. I have it on tape. We can re-roll the tape for you if you would like. You said sign the check right now, get her done. Once they give us all the stuff that we wanted, then give them the money. But I haven't seen any of that, and you were
I
giving
talked to
it.
your attorney about it.
Yes.
Did he get back to you? And he dropped that. He understands. I don't know what else to say. We operated in the red. We do not.
Well,
have
according
the
to
money.
your
We
numbers here,
can't
you did
do
not.
it.
Even with the 5,000 that you said, you're in the black by 2,000 still. So
Madam President,
I don't know where did that 5,000 come on? That wasn't what on the expenditures.
It is on the expenditures, but what
It didn't
happened
go to
was
the
it did not
year-to-date.
go to the year-to-date.
Oh, it did not
So
go to the
it
year-to-date.
is auditor
So
fees.
under December.
Yes,
Yes.
auditor fees.
Oh, okay, I see it.
Okay, it
Yes,
comes
I see.
under December, but it didn't carry over to the year-to-date. So the
Yes.
year-to-date is now 5,100 more than the 128,000, okay?
Okay, yeah, and then I said the total operating room still 135, blah 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 blah, but that's still in the black there. Unless
That's part of what I.
no, that's where the good faith stuff we're gonna talk about and keep open-minded about. But
I was gonna address this tonight. That was part of my issue here tonight.
But that motion that was made, and I did see the letter that the lawyer sent you, so I'm getting a little different vibe than what you're telling everybody else.
And let's keep
But
in
I
mind.
haven't seen, I
What
don't
did
know
he tell
who
you?
else from council got that correspondence from the attorney.
What did the lawyer tell you after he spoke with me?
He did not speak with us. He's waiting for us to get back to him after this council meeting.
Okay, let us also keep in mind when we're looking at expenditures and the revenues for December and the year to date, the computer crashed. She did the best that she could in order to present something to council. We are not 100% sure yet whether we are in the red or not.
And we're also worried
And it's
about
only off by
19.
$2,000, and that's not a whole lot of money when you're trying to run a borough.
Madam President,
Yes, sir.
we just voted 4-3 to pay the $37.50. I feel that we, in good faith and obligation of our vote, need to do this. And we can talk about the other $37.50 after. Now, the motion was passed. And I feel that this council has not lived up to our fulfillment.
Okay, Jack, but in respect, I haven't seen any of the paperwork from the fire company that we requested. And I'm not saying that they didn't submit it, but I wanna see it. I wanna look at it, okay? So, you know, let's meet with the fire company, see what we can work out, you know, come together a little bit and be the community that, you know, we really want. The fire company wants the community to succeed. We as Borough Council want the community to succeed, and we have to work together on this.
Madam President, that's what I wanted to deal with tonight. But if I will defer to this meeting, but I would like to at least introduce this, and it won't take me long to introduce.
All right, give me a minute. Does anybody else have anything else? Fire company,
No.
y'all okay?
Yeah, we're good.
Anything
John,
else?
Ian, you have anything?
Have anything on this subject?
Okay.
Jack, you okay? Is it okay that we meet with the fire company and work things
I
out?
still feel that we voted to pay the $37.50, and that we should pay that. And the other $37.50, we should meet with them on. But we have already obligated ourselves, this council, to pay it. And therefore, we're reneging exactly what we voted to do. Now, the other $37.50, I'm 100% in agreement to meet and negotiate on.
Okay,
Is the Vice President, or is Councilor Root making this a motion? I'll second it.
Well, there's a motion's already been passed. It's already been passed. All we gotta do is fulfill the motion. We don't need another motion. And
but we
the
met.
things that they are obligated by law to present, they have presented. Anything else, we do not have the right to ask for that Thursday.
I would disagree there. We asked for Form 990. We got one page. We got the summary page out of a 29-page document that I obtained online just to look at.
Jerry got it all.
Matt,
Same documents we gave you?
on can I deal with this now,
Yes,
since this is
go
going to be I received a letter, and Madam President, I'll
Did
give
we receive from the
give
fire
you a
company
copy.
a call like that?
And this is personal. This is personal. I received this letter by email from the attorney Kim Hauser, and she I thought she was she's a he. Okay, I apologize to him, but I thought it was a female. But he pleaded with me. These firemen. They can't do an audit. We exercised an audit this year, Madam President, and it cost us more than $4,000. The fire company can't afford to do that type of audit. And this is what the attorney is telling me, you know. And thirdly, he expressed that each fireman, it cost $10,000 to equip them properly. And he asked for prayer and assistance. And I'm a councilman, and I received these documents from the treasurer on the 31st of December. It is the 2016 complete document of 990, which is all they're required to do. And this is 2017 that was hand-delivered, and I signed for it. So this was done privately. It was my hope to do this before I even was on council.
Which
I
is
started.
what you did. You submitted that before you were ever on council.
That's correct. And now I'm presenting it to council to look at tonight. If you want copies of this, I will redo it and then I give you the copies. But these are complete documents showing everything. And what I'm saying is they've done their part as good faith to present to council, and we promised them that if they did show these documents, and these are the only documents they have, and these are lawful federal documents, the 990 federal, done by, I'm assuming, a CPA in Clearfield. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm saying that the fire company, in good faith, we should pay this bill. And I know there's opposition.
First off, it's not a bill, it's a donation.
I know
So
it's a donation.
Let's set that record straight.
Well, it's a
donation.
bill.
I'll argue with that. It is a contract for 2018.
It is in good faith for what they do. When I saw all those fire companies.
Hey,
trucks-
honey, you know the fire you were talking about today? They were at my house.
Oh,
That was my house.
well, they went up through town.
Well, that was the first call.
Yeah,
The second call was her house.
Nobody's
I
doubting
know
what
what the fire
We-
company does.
we
I'm
should-
a fireman myself.
Yes, you may.
Can I? Now, this is the one is 2000.
16,
16.
which was what I requested. This issue is still in litigation. The judge has not made a determination, but in good faith, they brought the documents to me that I requested, and that letter was an apology to me that I did not get the full documents the first time.
Can you excuse me a minute? Because I want to shut down my phone before it goes off again. I apologize. I'm so sorry.
So this docket is in a stay motion because there's litigation in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania about firemen's documents. Are they public? So there is an appeal to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and I can give you the citation of law. I don't want to take all that time. But I wanted to make a motion that the secretary do pay this. And was my motion on this particular, but I will defer it to this meeting, and we can vote on it next meeting if you want. But as I brought, and the president made a correction, I made a motion to reconsider because of the two conflicts. I'm eliminating one conflict. They serve documents. And in good faith, we need to, and I know we don't have it, but we spent over almost $5,000 for an audit. We're in litigation in the Commonwealth Court for something that is going to cost the taxpayers, and it's a waste of money. In my opinion, and I have a right to have my opinion.
Right, but we all agreed that the audit that had to be done. The finances of this borough was in a mess.
That's
and
right.
they had to be fixed, and we had to have the audit done.
But if
Okay.
I agree.
It was
Madam President.
money that we had to spend, taxpayer money or not, it had to be spent.
Yes.
We cannot go out here on the streets of Coalport and have a bake sale to raise the money for borough.
No, but if we
Somebody else can
if,
do it for
if we're
us.
going to spend all this extra money like this, Why can't we show good faith to our, if we even had to borrow that money, because this is probably going to be the last time that we have to, that according to what we've already told the fire company, we're not going to make a contract anymore. And we're pleading our budget that we can't pay anymore.
When I make a donation to the American Red Cross, I don't go out and take a loan out to do that. I either have the money or I don't. That's what a donation
I'm
is.
saying we made a commitment
And
in
you
a
and I have
vote.
talked about my personal feelings.
Yes.
How I feel
Yes.
about,
Madam President, I yield to that. I
and
do know.
you
I do.
know. But when I sit here at this table, I can't be a fireman. I have to be a borough council member, and I have to do what is best for the borough council, and so does everybody sitting here at this table. Fireman or not, you are sitting here as a council member. Therefore, you do what's best for council. Now, if we have to take out a loan in order to give to the fire company, no way. It just can't be done.
We don't have to take that long.
But,
Right now, we
that
have
was
the
the
money to do
example
it.
that he used, Jack.
Yeah, right, but right now, we have the money to do
But
it.
we're not 100% sure we have the money to do that.
But it was, excuse me, it was an obligation that has.
My personal feeling was the fire company was caught unaware, okay? We did not even ask for these documents until the middle of 2018. And my personal opinion is they at least deserve the first half.
Thank
So
you.
then
Okay.
why,
That is my personal opinion.
So then why isn't the borough giving it to them? If it's already been on the table,
Because it's
already
an
been passed.
issue that
But
we
it's-
have to, it's an issue that we have, that we asked for documents. We wanted documents before this could be presented, before the check could be written out. That was for starters.
Then how did it get, I'm
He-
sorry, I'm just not understanding, how did it get passed through the council members if you needed all of that and none of that had been, I'm not understanding how it got passed to pay them.
There was a stipulation to see the documents before the money was given.
That was made after the motion had passed. The motion had passed to pay the money, and then after it passed, then the stipulations were added by.
I still agree.
No, that's not correct. I'll correct you on that.
No,
That
it was
we-
brought up afterwards, after they voted, we brought up that the prior meeting, you'll have to go back a meeting, maybe two, that it was voted on that we would not pay the fire company any money until we received the documents that were requested. Then 2 or 3 meetings later, it was brought up about at least trying to get the first half. So when they voted on that, then we again reminded them that we stated that we were not gonna put out any money until we got the documents, because I have not, as far as the borough and receiving documents, I never saw these.
No, they just came December.
Okay,
Exactly, so they
so
weren't
what I'm
presented
saying
to
is,
the borough.
Jerry, and I understand what you're saying, okay? But the paperwork that I looked at that I received from the fire company isn't the same paperwork that I'm looking from you today.
No, I said I would
So you
yield
understand
to,
where my
I would
dilemma is,
yield
right?
to wait for that meeting. But are we actually, as a council, saying that no matter what they have a meeting with them, we're not gonna pay this money?
Now, wait a minute,
We're not
no, what I'm
saying
saying in good faith,
Yeah.
why do you have all this, and I got a one piece of paper that said they had $83,000 and spent 82?
Well,
When
there's
here
a-
it tells me they have a $122,000 savings account.
This is an apology, this is an apology from.
All right, stop. One person at a time, because my head just can't take this anymore.
Apologies to him,
Not to me. I didn't get an apology. All right? My thing is, I'm still agitating the fact that I don't work in a secret society. When I ask somebody for something so that I can give money away, I expect the same attention that you had to go to court to get.
Yes.
So,
He didn't do it for it.
Okay.
no, he had to go to the third attorney. I shouldn't have to do that. Out of good faith, we should have had that same piece of paper that I
I
had.
did
now.
go to court.
That was offered to you the first night we were here, and then that argument because everybody's passionate about what they're doing, and it was thrown back at Jack. So when he resubmitted it, he resubmitted that, what you were specifically asking for. What was my revenue and income for that year? And that's what you got.
The 99 is what I asked for.
That's right. Everybody's passionate about their stuff here, and that did get
I'm
out
not,
of hand the first meeting.
I'm
and
not
I
passionate about it.
understand
I don't
that.
even take anything personal. But this is a business to run a business. I really think the contract was done deceivingly on how it was
Well,
passed
we
to
take
start with, and that's not
exemption
your
with
problem.
that.
That's not your problem. That's not your problem. I can
Oh.
understand you wanting a contract to guarantee your money. I can understand that. You're a business person on the end of the fire company. I'm saying that somewhere down the line, when you read all the minutes and everything else, for some reason, donation never came up. It was a bill.
It was a contract, it wasn't.
It was a contract.
But
Come on,
nobody
buddy.
ever said it could be renegotiated. Councilors didn't understand. You go back, and you're a large part to blame for that.
And that's why
you trying
I'm
to
happy
pull
to
that
table
crap
this on
on
Wednesday
me.
and talk to you guys. And
Okay, wait a minute. Hey,
I'll give it to you.
we're not children, okay?
I know we will.
We're not gonna act like it.
But I
Hold
think
on.
this should be tabled until the Wednesday, where we can sit down and talk about this and look at
That's
these
a good
papers
idea.
and that papers. And like I said, I'm all for giving them whatever money the borough has. Okay, as long as I'm not deceived. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. When this started, to me, it felt like people were lied to. Now, again, you're saying you got an apology because you didn't get, and now I'm being told, well, we'd have got this, but they didn't do it because it was the argument that night. Okay, that's fine. But we finally asked for the paperwork. Why didn't I see that?
That argument was 4 or 5 months ago.
Madam Chairman, I
I just
thought I had
table
the
it
floor,
till we
but
can talk just fast.
I will
Hold
table
on.
this, Madam President,
that's
until
entirely
the
up
fire
to you.
company meets with us. If
But
you-
that's
I'll
up to you.
Thank you.
And I would appreciate it before that meeting, if you wouldn't mind, can I look at what you have?
Sure.
Okay.
I will scan it all, and I will PDF if I may.
Go ahead.
I'll PDF everybody. Is that agreeable?
Do y'all want the
Yeah.
paperwork? Okay, now, Mr. Roop does not have access to an email account.
I have
Is
been
there-
serving him some emails,
You have?
and I will serve him these copies of these.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that he was covered as well. Madam Mayor, are you coming? Okay,
Okay.
all right.
Could I bring up one more thing now? Move on to a new subject. I received an email from, and what I'm reporting on is the early intervention program. I have a deadline of January the 14th for the early. I sent out packets.
A week away.
Yeah, I sent out packets 2 months ago at the direction of the president.
Okay,
He appointed me verbally in one of the councilmen to take care of the early intervention, and I think it was in
Yeah,
council.
you voted on it.
Okay. So what they want me to do is to introduce to you tonight a resolution that they need signed and approved. So we need to vote on it, and we can introduce and vote on this. We don't have to hold it 30 days.
What is it, Jerry?
This is early intervention. Excuse me, I'm sorry. If anybody else wants to look at it. They want this, and it also includes the fact that I'm the liaison.
okay. Was not this early intervention something that was going to cost us like thousands of dollars
That's not what
to
the
do?
resolution will be, but it will come up. I mean, if you don't want to do this at all, I'm going to have to retract everything, all the packets that I sent out. The Honorable
it's
Council
not that
paid
we-
for the
It's not that we
postage.
don't want to do this. I mean, we've talked about doing this, but when we can't even donate money to our local fire company who are helping us out each and every day, why would we spend thousands of dollars on this?
Well, because
Unless-
of what
I
it
want
can
a
do for
guarantee.
you.
Okay, but is there a guarantee that when I submit a grant, it's going to get approved? Is that guaranteed in writing? Or are we throwing a few $1,000s down the drain when we could be giving it to them?
Well, that's up to council. If they don't want to do this, that's fine. That's one less thing on my plate.
Need more information.
Yeah.
How-
All this
what
is-
do I put up?
All this is that they will help me, because I said I haven't received any packets, proposal, and no RFPs yet. And so I was concerned, so I called Ed, and Ed wants this resolution so that they can intervene on your behalf. That's what the resolution is for. They need it signed and signed by you, Madam President, for them to move forward in our behalf. And
How much is it gonna cost us for them to
they
move
didn't
forward?
say any cost at this
I'm
point.
not signing anything until I know what it's
Well,
gonna
this is
cost
just
us
that
borough.
they're allowed to send out RFPs. That's all it states. If you read it, that's all that it's saying, that they can do. You have the right at the end, a final decision. You say we can't do it, but they're going to come, and we're going to be able to interview the individuals that want to submit an RFP, and they'll have questions. And I asked him for the talking points. He says I don't have them all ready, but he's going to give them to me also.
Now, what changes here? You already sent out a request for.
I know. Yeah, that's on behalf of the council. I did that. This is, they're going to intervene and help us, but they need permission. Remember, we live in a commonwealth, and a commonwealth is the lowest entities have power. This council is the lowest entity, and we have power. And so, they're not going to do anything without our permission.
This is probably harmless, as far as I can tell. We're not committing ourselves to anything.
That's correct.
Apparently Ed Fosnot or whatever.
Correct.
Ed's the one that was here and talked to us.
Yes, he's the guy that was here. He'll apparently try to get some people that are interested. I say good luck if he can. I don't think we have anything to lose. You know, if somebody comes here and it's a good deal. If it's a bad deal, we just let it go.
I'm not in agreement to fork out any money. When we can't support our local fire companies,
right.
I'm not doing this.
Right.
This has nothing to do with money.
No,
This
Okay.
is just saying that Ed can
he
look
can,
for us every
yeah.
month.
That's fine, as
Correct.
long as it doesn't cost us anything,
Yeah,
because
so-
the minute it costs us something, we're done.
Get a motion so we can give you permission to sign it.
All right, there's a motion on the floor by Mr. Spade that the resolution be submitted for the early intervention program. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, seconded by Paul Zupich. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you, Madam President.
It says on here vote of council.
Well, we need to vote on that resolution now.
Roll call vote on the resolution.
Correct.
Okay, let's have a roll call vote.
President Trent,
Yes.
Vice President Adam,
Yes.
Paul Zupich,
Yes.
Reverend Spade,
Yes.
Kevin Slaughter,
Yes.
Mr. Root,
Yes.
Calvin.
And I need all 3 copies signed by the president and the secretary to attest it.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam President.
Well, my first efficiency.
It's going to cost you for the rest of your life.
Good word, Jerry.
Thank you.
Do we have anything else for tonight's meeting?
I have one more thing, if I may.
Say so before.
I respectfully ask the secretary for a copy of the 2018 minutes. And I went through that and I noticed we did do a resolution, but it does not show up. The resolution number 02. And it was signed by our former president of council and authenticated by our secretary, and she gave me this copy.
What is that resolution for?
The resolution was council vacancy compliance, and it was actually voted on in this council, but it does not show up in the minutes of October the 1st. And I'm asking, how do we do corrections, or will the council have a motion that it be entered into the minutes for October? Because does not show up in that one. Secondly, I requested a correction, and the correction is that it would be exactly the way my motion was, and she agreed, and council agreed, and it was never changed.
It might be the wrong set of minutes. Let me double check,
Okay.
and I'll say, because I know I corrected it. I might have printed the ones before I corrected it.
Excuse me?
What was the resolution for?
Vacancy.
Well, the second one was the proposal for the budget to be advertised. And I requested that it have specifically, when I served it to I'd like it to be as if I served it to council and you voted on it. And I respectfully ask those 2 corrections, and if you need it by motion, I ask that they be done as a motion.
Does anybody have a problem with it being entered into the minutes for October 1st?
It's supposed to be there, then it should be in
And the correction to be made?
The procedure for that is kind of bizarre. I think you have to write it by hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll check though, and I remember fixing it after he wanted it as written. It's probably the wrong set of minutes because I had to bring it over.
Okay.
So I'll check that and then, but I can add the resolution by hand.
Thank you, Madam President.
Okay, to cover ourselves, we're gonna make a motion on this. So Jerry has a motion on the floor for the resolution number 2 to be entered into October 1st. And, for his budget proposal to be written as he submitted it. Do I have a second to that?
I'll second.
Yeah, Kevin already did.
Oh, okay.
You said I seconded before he just raised his hand. So Kevin Swalbert seconded it. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you, Madam President.
Anything else for tonight's meeting?
With the, just bringing it up, with the going from 7 to 5 and actually going to court in February. I don't know whether or not I'd like to, need to follow this up with that or not. If we make a motion to follow through with that and knock, council down from 7 to 5 and get a actual in minutes vote of agreeing to going to court to drop from 7 to 5.
Who's all planning on going?
I already got work off that day, so I'll be there.
No, I can't back up.
I serve to council secretary an order from the judge that I'm to appear to set forth my motion.
Okay.
I had to serve it to council.
Do we need a second?
I don't see any
Let's
reason
make
why
clear-
that you'd have to vote on.
That's
because
what I was just gonna
it's
say.
a-
I
That's what I said, I'm just
clear.
wanting to know, because there's been so much question about whether or not it was actually brought up as that's what we're gonna do, or we're gonna check on it to see what we have to do.
Well, it was in
Is there
the,
any-
it was in the minutes.
It's in the minutes that we took around a petition and.
April the 2nd.
We've been doing this since April the 2nd.
Yeah.
That's what I said, it's been a long
But
time.
it's
That's why
a
I'm-
court order now, because you're ordered to be at that hearing
Correct.
as counsel.
Okay.
I just wanna make sure we have our ducks in a row,
Yep.
and nobody come back and tell us later on.
Is that order
They
that
didn't have a
house
vote
law
on
that should be there?
No.
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 Three,
No.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Your attorney,
Select-
your attorney's the only one that really has to be, but I did not receive yet, but since I'm ordered to be there, he will have to serve me, anybody that's gonna be a witness.
Okay.
and that's my opinion.
I should be there, so I got work off. Anything else?
Yeah.
Can I entertain a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion. to
Second.
adjourn.
Paul seconded it. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned at 8:07.
Thank you, Madam President.